Alright guys, today's topic is on implementing cardio for powerlifters. And I guess this just goes for anybody who just wants to, lose a few pounds, make it to the next lowest weight class without losing too much strength. This is not going to include a water cut, although I can make a video going over how to perform one of those. I like to keep my calories typically a little bit higher, so I would normally stay at maintenance and then increase my activity to compensate in order to create that deficit, because that's honestly the bottom line. Is to lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit. Apart from that, you're going to have to think to yourself what's going to be more beneficial for how you're training. You have two different types of cardio, just for the sake of argument. So you have Liss, low intensity, steady state cardio, which is you'll have somebody doing half an hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes on a recumbent bike, a treadmill, and elliptical, or just for an extended period of time, keeping their heart rate elevated, but not beating super hard. It's a little bit easier, but it's a little bit more time consuming. I don't think it takes quite as a toll on your recovery as Hitt cardio necessarily does, which is why when I tend to do Liss cardio, it's more in the strength phase. That's why it's not taken away from the recovery needs of having to lift heavier loads. And then for a peak, I normally try to diminish it out as much as I can, but again, during a peak, I would definitely rather do Liss cardio than I would Hitt cardio. On the other hand, also to piggyback off that real quick, when you're doing something like Hitt or Liss, just like with really training in general, you want to start off with the lowest amount that takes the biggest result. So I'll just use Liss as an example for this. So I recommend maybe doing Liss for 20 minutes, twice to 3 times a week to start off. Pretty much just continue doing it until you stop losing weight doing those times consistently. You can either measure it in time, calories, or distance. I wouldn't increase it until you stopped making progression with doing whatever increment you're doing, whether it be time, calories, or distance. But once you get into that point, maybe add 5 minutes, maybe adds a little bit of resistance to it, or go to an extra 50 to 100 calories, whatever it takes for you to get to that next stage. But the reason you don't want to do it all at once is because your body is intelligent. If you all of a sudden are in a 1,000 calorie deficit from doing all this stuff, your body might go into starvation mode and basically try to cling on to whatever it has. The slow progressive route is the way to go, and honestly it's probably going to be better for you in the long run because you'll probably be keeping the most strength. Hitt cardio is a good way to burn calories but also increase work capacity. So I like to include that aspect more in my hypertrophy block, because honestly you're going to be handling more and more volume anyway. So you might as well add a little bit more in, and then once you start to get down to your goal weight and then you start to maybe even cut that out a little bit, you might be able to replace it with a little bit more sets and reps of your main lifts in its place, and you're going to be able to perform that much more volume just because you're starting to cut out that factor. So both are good options. You just have to learn how to prioritize recovery. The main point of this is you have to be in a caloric deficit to lose weight. Either one is a good way to get into a caloric deficit, but you should really base which one you do on your recovery needs. If you're lifting heavier weights and you think you might have an issue with recovery, I recommend Liss cardio. And if you are going for a little bit more volume and want to work on a little bit more work capacity, I recommend Hitt cardio. That's it for today. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.